boxing fans, hockey fans, baseball fans, basketball fans around the world. How y'all doing? You know, we are at the end of the finals. And what I want to elaborate on, that it was a good finals. Um, it went different than a lot of people think. I thought it was going to go different, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's a sport. The Spurs have a real good team. I've always respected the Spurs, man, because when Michael Jordan retired, right, the Spurs were the only old school team in the league at that time. The Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Ginobili, David Robinson, Kawhi Leonard. So they rekindled me to start back watching basketball. In 2014, when the Spurs won their last ring, I won $1,000. So, and then I've always won, with this team because they're very fundamental. But anyway, make a long story short, the Knicks, right? And I like the Knicks. I don't have a problem with the Knicks. And I like Bronson. Bronson, he ain't no joke, man. They have a nice squad. To, but with this series right here, a lot of people are disappointed. A lot of people are hurt. But a lot of people are happy. A lot of people are excited. New York hasn't been there in 53 years. So they had a whole nother willpower, a whole nother drive, and a whole nother motive of getting the job done. The Spurs, Wembley has been in the league, I would say about 3 years at the most. He's already in the finals. So that's big. Shout out to Wembley. To be in the finals, and you only been in the league 3 years, that's deep. I salute. I also want to salute New York for getting the job done, man. I was going for the Spurs due to personal experience, due to what I've gained with the Spurs through the years. Doesn't mean I dislike New York. I'm a true sportsman and I salute when somebody works hard. All right? The Spurs beat themselves. They knew what they had to do and they fumbled. So I cannot take away from what the New York Knicks have accomplished. Now, there's a cause and the effect. You got people who are mature like me that look at it as a sport, but then you got people out there that worship it, right, and treat it like a religion. And that's why there's violence. There's no way New York Knicks fans should be beating up Spurs fans and vice versa. Spurs fans beating up New York fans. Because at the end of the day, you don't know those guys personally. You beat this guy up, put him in a hospital. Do you think Brunson is going to come and get you out of jail and pay your bond? Do you think that's going to happen? Not saying he wouldn't, but you have to be able to get to him for that. On the flip side, Spurs fans, do you think Wembley is going to come and get you out of jail if you beat up a New York Knicks fan? That portion of the sports is what I dislike because it's just a sport. May the best man win. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose. New York just kept their foot on the gas and got the job done. So I have to salute them. You know, but to hurt somebody and be violent, I don't like that. That's not what this culture was built upon. Okay, and it's not a physical error anymore. So I just want to run that by y'all, man. And football season's right around the corner. We gonna see what happens this year. There's a lot of recruits, a lot of draft going on, and then shout out to my Detroit Lions. Hopefully we can get our first ring this year. You know, so we're gonna see what happens, man. I just wanted to elaborate on that because people, some people are just so on a low frequency to where it's like they don't think logical because over a sport, this is only a sport, man. I want the Spurs to win too, but I'm not gonna go around beating up people over a sport. I can salute New York because in actuality, you know, I know what the old Spurs would have done. I know Tim Duncan wouldn't have made the mistakes that Wembley made or David Robinson. And I'm not saying it to put Wembley down, but it's just the experience factor. Once he gets more experience, because he's already a beast, but once he gets more experience under his belt, his IQ is going to be different. He's not going to make the same mistakes he made this year. So I just wanted to talk to y'all about that. If you want to elaborate on it some more, leave your, you know, message in the chat, and we can definitely chop it. Y'all have a good day. Peace and love.